Good evening, everyone, wherever you are around the world, and welcome to the League Racing Nations Cup second edition here for race number 2. We're here for the second day of racing in the competition. And now we're here in the best of the rest here. Quickly had to kind of adjust myself. I just want to apologise for the slight delay in getting the stream started and the slight delay in racing, but we are here. It is Group A of the best of the rest bracket, and of course we are here with, let me just get the teams up, believe we are here with the England second team, who finished third in the Group A standings in day 1. We're here with the Welsh team, of course, myself being Welsh, I hope we do well. We're here with also the French second team, also looking to do a good result here, and of course the Malta first team. So we're going to be scoring board with Tinkan, the Englishman, as we thunder through the circuit pole Ricard, and it's going to be an absolute fantastic scene here as we barrel through turns 4 and 5 at the first sector split. I believe he may have invalidated. Yes, he has invalidated. So we'll go on board with Plix number 6 up there in the McLaren. He is thundering now down to turns 8 and 9, the chicane. Braking as late as possible, not taking as much of the inside curb as you would preferably want to, but he does get a nice exit. And because of that, he has lost provisional pole position to Tomato, and he's also lost a spot to Ryan Mulder there in the racing point. But we're going to go through turns 11 now. This never-ending right-hander, and it gets a little bit off camber mid-corner as we go into turn 12. You don't want to be getting onto that inside curve because it's very easy to lose the car, lose the traction, and of course spin out there. But into the penultimate corner, and now into the final corner. What is it gonna be? It looks like Tomato's the man who's going to get pole position, and it's a good start from Wales, a far cry from last week, and Plix does get second place, so he joins him on that front row, which is fantastic. Let's see how many people actually finish the laps here. So let's have a look. So we got Tomato for the Welsh up there on pole position, and then we have the French duo of Plix and Maxro in second and third. Then we have our first Maltese driver in P4, Little Romanino in P5. Then we got V-Man. That's what we're going to go with. V-Man. It's easy for me to pronounce. I do apologize. I'd rather call you V-Man than butcher your name. But he is there in P6 ahead of his Maltese teammate XL Bree. And then of course we got Colin R. Mason for the Welsh lads in 8th. Formula Trap in 9th on the set in the mediums. And we got Kurt rounding out the top 10 for the Maltese drivers. And we'll go through the rest of the grid. Now I'm just going to quickly get up all the information that I need to get up while everyone is on the formation lap, and it'll be good to do so. So as we have a look, so in the Ferrari and Mercedes, I believe we're going to have the English second team there in the Ferrari and Mercedes, and of course the Welsh lads in the Red Bull and Alpha Tauri car. Let me know in the comments, how did you actually like the Alpha Tauri livery in there? I personally haven't seen it yet, but let me know your opinions on it. And then of course we got the France second team in the McLarens and the Renault car, and the Maltese drivers in the Racing Point and I believe the Williams as well. So yes, as we run you through the rest of the grid actually. So Rage Hunter for England in 11th, Calvin in 12th, Hooky in 13th, then we've got Tin Can in 14th. And I know a couple of these drivers pretty well. I know Bree and Tin Can are very handy, and after what we saw last week, we do know that Rage Hunter and Calvin, you know, they like a good scrap. Trap Formula is pretty decent as well. Maybe he can get himself up the order. Of course, we know about the Welsh quartet, as I would like to say, the Welsh quartet. And I'm also going to get the stream up because I actually haven't checked the stream yet. But we've also got to get the tyres up. So Trap Formula for the English team, the only man in the top 10 on the set, though, medium compound tyre, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. Outside of the top 10 though, a split in strategy. So we got Rage Hunter on the softs, Calvin on the mediums, Hooky on the mediums, and Tin Can also on the soft compound tyre. So Tin Can going to be looking to try and make up spots and get up the order as quickly as possible. So I'm just going to get the stream up. Calvin saying he got something stuck behind his pedal. That is not what you want, mate. I have been there before. It's never nice when you got something stuck behind your pedal, especially if it's the throttle, because you just lose insane amount of time. But we have the stream up. I can now see your comments. We got Rachel in the chat. Hashtag rep the dragon. Hashtag rep the dragon indeed. As we wait for those 5 red lights. Second day of racing here in the League Racing Nations Cup. 5 red lights are out. Well, this is awkward. Oh, there we go. They're finally out. And we are underway. It looks like a good start from Tomato there. Plix getting a very good start as well. Little Romanino getting a good start. Colin and Bree side by side there. As we got the Williams of V-Man and Kirk also battling out there for P8 and 9. Rage Hunter there looking to try and get a move done on the man in the Williams. Oh, diving it down the inside, and that is never going to end well. It's just one of those corners you really need to be alongside if you're going to try and get through. Tin Can there getting through on Hooky at the start. Hooky going backwards, but now Hooky trying to fight back on those medium compound tyres. And Tin Can there will be side by side going into the chicane, as it's England versus Wales, and Hooky able to get through. As is that Rage Hunter off? Rage Hunter and Kurt there going for a bit of a spin, losing a lot of time there, as Hooky there getting through on Calvin, as does Tin Can as well. But back up towards the front, we have little Romanino all over the back of Ryan Malta, the Maltese driver at the moment in P4. Let's see how his race pace translates to his qualifying pace. I believe it did look like he had wing damage there. I had to go on broadcast view just to see if he did, but it looks all good for now. He's just under some immense pressure from the Welshman behind him, as we've got a nice interesting battle going on here. Nice freeway scrap between Bree, Colin and V-Man. That will be very tasty as we go further into this race, as Calvin is into the pits nice and early. Hooky under pressure from Rage Hunter. And of course, the rules are the top 2 teams continue on to the best of the rest for day number 3. The bottom 2 teams drop down into the knockout race. And at the moment this week in the knockout race, we have both of the Belgian teams. So at the end of tonight, one will continue on to next week and one will be walking away from this championship empty-handed before it's even really started. And of course, later on tonight we will have the Champions Route going on with Group A and Group B. Those who are able to finish towards the top end of day one will be scrapping it out, and that will be very exciting indeed to watch, as Ryan Mulder seems to be dropping off from the back of Plix up ahead, and Plix actually trying to put a bit of pressure on Maxro there for second place. Both of these guys sticking with Tomato, who is the race leader. Plix setting the fastest lap of the race, as right now I believe Wales at the moment with more points to their name, as we are only on lap 3, so DRS has been enabled for this lap, and Colin making a mistake there. That could be very costly, because he is not going to have ERS now, as it looks like Kurt and Rage Hunter there battling it out in sector 1, and it is going to be a tasty battle for these guys, as Tin Can has now managed to get himself a bit of clear air. Let's see if he can catch up to the cars up ahead, as it looks like, yep, with DRS, look at that, Colin's lost half a second already to Bree, just for the simple fact with Bree having DRS, and V-Man all over the back of Colin now for 7th place. It is the Maltese man versus the Welshman, as I believe V-Man they're going very, very deep, and it is how it is in the top 5. That hasn't changed. In fact, the top 6 hasn't changed. In fact, there we go, Tomato and Plix into the pit lane. Let's see where they will emerge as we get on to lap number 4. The medium tyres go on for both. They will come out behind the battle going on between Hooky and Kirk, and Rage Hunter as well. As I said, you know, a nice little tasty scrap between these 3 individuals. It's like a start of a bad joke, isn't it? An Englishman, a Welshman, and a Maltese man walk into a bar. So it is like a start of a bad joke, but it is great action out on track, and that is what we're here to see. Is V-Man going to be close enough? Nope, not close enough to make a move. Nino unable to get the move on Malta, and Tin Can kind of pulling. Oh, actually, here we go, side by side action between Rage Hunter and Kirk. Kirk gets the better exit. Looks like Kirk's also got wing damage here, because there goes Hooky straight through. And does he have wing damage? Yes, he has front left end plate damage there for Rage Hunter, and he's going to be he should be ducking into the pits right now, I'd say. You don't want to be going too long with wing damage to your name, as Maxro, Ryan and Nino all into the pit lane, as Colin and V-Man also follow suit, as well as Tin Can. Is Kurt coming in as well? No, he's going to stick it out for another lap. There goes Rage Hunter into the pit lane. No penalty so far. I'm actually no, there is the penalty. It was Calvin there picking up the first 3-second time penalty. I did not see that pop up. But now the interesting turn of events. It seems like Nino, unfortunately, with everyone peeling off into the pits at the same time, got massively held in the pit lane, and look at the amount of time he's lost to the cars ahead. He was right on the back of Ryan Malta just before entering the pit lane, and now he's 2.5 seconds behind. Now, interestingly, lap 5 of 13 we can see these the top guys starting to rapidly close up to the Hooky and Kurt up ahead, and there could be an interesting team game going on here. Hooky could just move straight out the way of Tomato, leaving Plix have to try and either follow through immediately, or they'll have to spend a couple of corners stuck behind the Alpha Tauri. It is interesting as Bree is now into the pit lane. It'll be interesting to see where Bree is relative to V-Man and Colin. In fact, we're gonna go on board with we'll go on board with Colin now as comes across the start finish straight, and it looks like, oh my god, it looks like Bree has actually been able to overcut there massively, and he's actually got ahead of Nino there. As we're starting to see penalties coming in now from V-Man in 11th. That's going to hurt his chances later on in the race, and now this is going to be the Welsh switcheroo, I think. The old bait and switch. I don't think Hooky's going to fight this. He really shouldn't. There we go. He's just going to let his Welsh compadre continue on. Oh no! There goes Plick straight into the back of Hooky, and it looks like he's under pressure now from Maxro, who is right behind, and now there goes Maxro to the inside of Hooky. Oh, fine margins there, but they both get through as Hooky goes wide. But what that has done is actually given a bit of breathing space as Tomato there picks up a 3-second time penalty. He was on board. We saw what happened, and the switchback there from Tomato. Absolutely beautifully done there from Tomato. The switchback out the final corner gets the move done, and Kirk actually he's actually going to move on out the way. So Kirk there just completely getting out of the way of Maxwell and Plixie. So the Maltese driver maybe showing a bit of sympathy to the French team, as we know France unfortunately only able to bring in 2 drivers here tonight. So maybe a bit of national sympathy there from the Maltese man to just quickly jump out of the way of the 2 French guys after battling for a little bit with the Welshman. Or maybe he just thought, not my battle, and getting clean out the way. But we like to think of maybe a little bit of national sympathy. And now this should be a relatively simple move. Kirk is not going to hold up Brian, and Bree all over the back of Nino, who made the move. He's got past the Maltese man, and he's now up into 7th place. Colin going very wide, as does V-Man, to be fair. And interestingly enough, Bree with that 3-second time penalty is under a bit of pressure here from Colin, as we get our final runners into the pits for their only pit stop, we hope. Tomato with a 3-second time penalty. He's not going to be happy with that, because at the moment I believe he would be dropping down to P3, so it'd be the French duo taking 1st and 2nd. But right now, I mean, the good news for Bree is he's right in that DRS of Nino, so he can use the DRS to pull him out of that 3-second window from Colin. So that's the good news for Bree right now. As it stands, I'm not sure, because we do. Oh no, there's Tomato there. Bit of a back end snap, and he has gone off, and he has lost a lot of time. And here goes Plick straight on through and up into 2nd place. So it is now definitely a French 1-2. As Rage Hunter picks up a 3-second time penalty. It is France in 1st, France in 2nd. We got Formula Trap and Tin Can there, you know, just swapping positions. Formula Trap on the softs. Best not impede Trap Formula. Sorry, I should say, instead of Formula Trap. But right now, Tomato's actually in danger of losing that podium. And Bree looks like he's used Nino to good effect, because he's managed to pull second on Colin behind. You just need to hope for no more penalties as we look at the amount of penalties that have been picked up. So we got Tomato with a penalty, we got Bree with a penalty, V-Man with a penalty, we've got Kurt with a penalty, Huggy with a penalty, Rage Hunter and Calvin also with penalties to their name. We go back up towards the front. Tomato all over the back of Plex. Is the Welshman going to be able to get himself back up into second? It'd be second on track, but for Tomato right now, as long as he's got a 3-second gap to the car behind, I think he'll be happy. Just chill in behind. Still just keeping with Nino. Nino just holding that. Oh, actually he is starting to close in slightly on Ryan. I mean, we'll see if the gap closes anymore. There is still 4 more laps in this race. The gap is 1.8 seconds. If Nino can get inside that DRS, he should be looking pretty decent. Oh, it's Colin there right over the curve, and that's going to put him under pressure. And there he goes. He picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. And with Trap Formula right behind them on those soft tyres, it's going to be very difficult to combat what is about to happen as Bree. He is losing time to Nino in the corners, but with the DRS he's just dragging himself along as Nino has brought that gap down now even further. As there we go, Trap gets through on V-Man, and is he going to have a look on Colin? No, he's not. He's going to stick behind the Welshman once again. No moves for P7, but you got to think Trap on those softs, he should have the pace to get through. As we got that awful gearbox glitch. I really don't like that gearbox glitch. Hopefully on the next game we'll not have to deal with that ever again. But at the moment, at the top end, it is still a French 1-2, and it is still a Welshman currently on the podium. Ryan Mulder, he's just on the edge at that 3 seconds. He's on the teetering edge of it. Then of course we got another Welshman in 5th and another Maltese man in 6th. And then of course we got this battle between a Welshman and an Englishman who looks like he's about to make the move, go down the inside into turn 1. Colin giving them a big old squeeze to the inside there to try and compromise the first corner. Doesn't work though, as Trap gets ahead up into 7th place. As V-Man trying to close up. And what this actually does, with both of these guys ahead with 3-second time penalties, XL Tin Can there is looking decent to jump himself up into 8th place. Is V-Man close enough to Colin to make a move? No, but a big old lock up there from Colin there. Almost V-Man going straight into the back of him. The gap is now down to 1.4 seconds. Nino is closing in on Mulder, and Mulder is losing time to Tomato. So it looks like Tomato doing enough to keep a hold of that podium, but who is going to come 4th? Will it be the Maltese man or will it be the Welshman? We know Bree at the moment with that 3-second time penalty, he's going to be looking at P6 right now, unless Trap can gain another 2 seconds on him in the final 2 laps. I mean, we're on lap 12 of 13. We just had a comment. Field is very mixed. It is indeed very mixed, and right now it is France with a 1-2, and there goes Nino with a 3-second time penalty, and that is crucial because now Ryan isn't going to mind if Nino overtakes him. Ryan's pressure has been somewhat relieved from him, but what that does do, it gives Trap Formula, the Englishman, a chance here, a hope. He needs to find as much time as possible. You go Brie down the inside. Oh, unable to get it done. XL Brie not able to get the move. Not able to get up into 5th place. But you can see with the DRS, he has just been closing up as much as possible. And is he going to think about down the inside? He is going to think about down the inside, but he's not going to go for it as Plix and Tomato side by side. Oh, not through there, turn 12, but Tomato comes out on top and gets up into P2 as we got a little Romanino just holding it ahead of XL Brie. But I'll keep an eye on that gap because the more these two battle, the better that's going to be for Trap Formula, able to bring him in as we are on the last lap of the race now. V-Man still unable to get past Colin. Colin very good on his ERS, it looks like, compared to everyone else up there. Well, actually I say everyone else, look at Calvin's ERS. I believe he's trying to go for the fastest lap of the race. Back of Hooky, and that's going to be an interesting battle as well. Final lap of the race. Is Tomato going to want to win this on track? He's not going to win the race. The penalty will make sure of that, but I'm guessing the Welshman just wants to win it on track, and he's got a tight line there. Oh no, a big snap of oversteer there. Looks like, yeah, actually that might have just opened things up for Ryan. Ryan is back within that 3-second window as Colin and V-Man side by side. Oh, they touch, and Tin Can is looking behind as Colin there draws alongside V-Man. He's going to get marginally ahead as they go through turn 10 as Calvin picks up another 3-second time penalty. Look at the gap between Ryan and Tomato. Hooky with a 3-second time penalty as well. Is Ryan going to be looking to pinch that podium away? And there goes Maxro to the line. He picks up the win. Plix alongside. Tomato will get P4 by a 10th. And there goes Nino into 5th. Brie comes home in 6th. Then we have Trap in 7th. Colin will come home in 8th. But he'll drop down to 9th because Tin Can there jumps up into 8th. Then 10th and 11th for V-Man and Kirk. Then we got Rage Hunter and Hooky now coming towards the line. I believe Hooky will finish where he is due to having one more penalty to his name as Rage Hunter 12th, Hooky 13th, and Calvin there in 14th place. And what that does, it makes it interesting. Does make it interesting, indeed it does. I'm quickly going to get the point system up once again. So the French duo walk away from this race with 56 points to their name. 56 points for the French duo. Tin Can gets the in-game driver of the day. And we'll have to see how you guys feel about that in the chat. But 56 points for the French duo. I believe, right, 42, 54, and where was Hooky? Was Hooky 13th? I believe I think he was 13th. So 22 plus 20, that's 42. Plus 12, that's 54. Plus Hooky's points in 13th, that's 8. 54 plus 8, that's 62. So Wales ahead of France. What about Malta? So Malta 24 plus 18. So that'd be 42 straight away. And then you got 10 and 11. So 21 plus 42, I said. So 21 plus 42. Carry the 1 minus the infinite symbol. Yeah. 20. What was it? 21 plus 42. 63 points there for the Maltese. And then, of course, we got the English team. They're getting right, English team getting 7th and 8th, 12th and 14th. So 7th and 8th, that is 30, 39, 46. So 46 points for the English team. So England at the moment sitting down in last place. It is very close and very tight at the top between France, Wales and Malta. Remember, the bottom 2 teams, they get put down into the knockout stage of the tournament. Of course, at the moment in the knockout phase, we have Belgium 2 versus Belgium 1. Unfortunately, not being covered due to there only being two teams there racing, and of course a lack of available commentators for tonight. But France with a 1-2. Malta, Wales, France separated by around about 10 points. So it really is anyone's guess on who is going to be coming in and going to be performing well. I believe the English team are making a substitution. Yep, we got Total Peas coming in for the English team, so that's a good substitution. They brought in Total Peas, a man who should be able to back up Tin Can there. Are we going to get any more substitutions coming in? I'm not sure. We got Rage Hunter and Calvin still in here. And I believe we should be okay. Should be okay. So the second part of the day, of course, is the fact that we are going to Brazil. Such a fantastic, iconic track here, the Sao Paulo Autodromo Jose Carlos Pass. I probably absolutely butchered it, but Joe, we've gone for it. We've gone for it. We tried to pronounce it. Apologies if it's wrong, but yeah, what can we do? But it is a 4.3 kilometer circuit, and we also have 15 corners here to entertain and delight. 2 DRS zones, 1 on the rundown into turn 1 just before turn 15, and 1 on the exit of turn 3 all the way down to turn 4. One shot qualifying for everyone here tonight. Let's see who is going to come out on top. It is very close between the French team, the Welsh team and the Maltese team. We hope replay is going to be an absolutely fantastic climax to tonight's races. And Joe, I'm not going to say anything. I'm kind of happy that France are doing as well as they are, because unfortunately they do only have 2 drivers in tonight, and that is a shame. And the performance in our first race, regardless if they get knocked down into the knockout stage, for next week. Regardless of any of that, it is what it is. So we're going to go on board with Joe. We're going to go on board with the French lads. We're going to go on board with Plix as he comes through the centre. S's turn 2, 3, and on the exit, DRS wide open on the run down into turn 4, just before the 50-metre board there, braking as we now start to climb up the hill towards the double right-hander of 7 and 8, and then you've got to get the car straightened up to break down now into 8 and now into 9. A very undulating track as the track does seem to gain and fall away from you into every single corner as we come towards the final, the second sector split, and it's a 50.5 there, and Tomato is out of the session, so it's unfortunate there for the Welshman. And Plix now on the run up the hill, DRS wide open. What's this going to be? Is Maxwell, who looks like he's going to be on pole position. And look at that, a 6.4. Maxwell absolutely flying as Hooky has been disqualified. Tomato disqualified from the session. And, oof. That's all I got to say, oof. But there we go, Maxwell on pole position ahead of V-Man in second place. Then we got Plix in third, Little Romanino in fourth, and Bree in fifth, Colin in sixth. Just 2 thousandths of a second separating the Welshman and the Englishman. The Welshman are Colin in sixth, and Total P's in seventh. Then we got Ryan Mulder in eighth, Tin Can in ninth, and Calvin rounding out the top 10 with Kirk and Rage Hunter, the only other two to set a lap time. And of course our guys who unfortunately invalidated their laps, Hooky and Tomato. So the two Welsh lads invalidating their lap, and that is just not what you need. And in fact, that is a good point that you also put in the chat there. And V-Man and Plix there, second and third, identical lap times. Identical lap times. Don't jinx anyone. Commentator's curse is real. It very much is. It very much is. I have been on the receiving end of them many times. But we await the formation lap for the final race here tonight. Of course, we'll be having the Champions route being streamed also after this race has come to its conclusion. Of course, we've got Group B going on as well right now. So if you guys want to jump in and say hello to the guys in Group B, tell them that tell them that Mike said hello. How are you? How's things? Ask them how their day was. But then make sure you come back here because we've got 18 laps of what should be a fantastic race here at Brazil. We're going to get up all the information that we need. So, looks like everyone outside of the top 10 starting on the medium compound tyre. And of course, everyone inside the top 10 starting on the softs. Malta, France, Wales, England. Who is going to come out on top here? That is the question. England currently are at the back in terms of points. It is very close at the top. The French duo getting a 1-2 has put them in the mix, but you've got to think with the driver deficit, they're going to need another 1-2 to really try and get themselves into the day 3 best of the rest route. And of course we got both Wales and Malta very similarly placed towards the end of the last race, so they get very acquainted with each other, these two nations. And there's the predicted pit strategy. It says lap 9. We'll have to wait and see about that. We'll have to see what happens, but everyone now coming towards the end of the formation lap. a lot of cars for this man, Tomato, to try and cut his way through. And for these guys at the front, they are going to be looking to try and get away ASAP. As we got a bit of support in the chat for V-Man. As we got those 5 red lights. Eventually, maybe. And there we go, lights are out and we are underway once again. Looks like a very good start there from Pelix. Gets himself up into second already. As you got little Romanino trying to hang it around the outside, but there you go. Oh, is that Bree? That's Bree gone. Bree around into the wall and that's his wheel off. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I saw how slow he touched our wall there. That is a ridiculous amount of damage for that little of contact with the wall. But we have to look and see if everyone got through without wing damage. No, it looks like Tomato has wing damage from somewhere. What about the 2 English lads in 11th and 12th? Rage Hunter and Calvin, do they have a full front wing to their disposal? No, I believe no. They both got the back. Everyone at the back got front wing damage, and that's going to be that's heartbreaking for the lot of them. Here we go. We got Total Peas now, trying to look down the inside of little Romanino. He goes to the lunge. Little Romanino hangs it around the outside. Oh, bit of a slip and slide there from Total Peace. You saw him get up onto the curb. He's trying to force his way through, trying to get alongside the Welshman as they run down into turn 4. Little Romanino has the inside line and he's going to hold on to that position. And right now, Colin sat in right behind. He's got to be licking his chops at the sight of this. As, yep, there we go. Everyone into the pits and a set of the hard tyres on, apart from Calvin, who started on the soft, so he gets to chuck on a set of the mediums. And we'll have to see how those hard compound tyres actually go, because they will go all the way to the end of the race, that is for sure. But we'll have to see who is going to come out on top, as it looks like Romanino starting to put V-Man under pressure. As here he goes now, moves to the inside for turn 1, gets marginally ahead as they go into the braking zone, and that is the Welshman up into P3. But it's not over yet, as you see V-Man gets a nice run on the exit of turn 3. Is he going to think about a lunge down the inside? No, he's going to think better of it, and he'll just tuck in behind it. He's going to tuck in behind the Welshman for the time being. The French duo doing fantastic up there in first and second. Only 2 drivers representing France here today. So it is good to see them both doing pretty damn well up there. They come in with a bit of a, well, I say a bit, they've come in with a massive disadvantage of losing 2 men straight away, so it's good to see that they are performing well. The question is now though, I believe as it stands, it's very close. It's very close as Ryan Mulder into the pits, and he'll be chucking on a set of the medium compound tyres, that's for sure. But it's very close right now. I don't know who is going to come out on top here. I really don't know. As Nino is all over the back of Plix, and oh, it's a yellow flag up ahead, and that's Hooky out of the race. Well, that's just even things out, because I was going to say it's very I don't know who's going to win because of the fact that Bree is out of the race, but now Hooky's out of the race as well. So both Wales and Mulder losing the driver. Of course, no safety cars to help bring anyone back into the race. But there's the gap. You see the gap between Tomato and Ryan Malta there. As you got little Romanino into the pits. Colin trying his best to close up the V-Man. Move to the inside, but not close enough to make the move. V-Man with no DRS to his disposal and no ERS to his disposal, and that is Colin through and up into 4th place. As you got Tin Can not too far off, and Nino now exiting the pit lane, looking for that undercut, I would say. So it would be interesting to see if he does get the undercut. V-Man still sticking to the back of Colin. Tin Can not too far behind for England, and for England they need both of their drivers up in the top flight to get themselves back into this. Is Colin going to dive into the pits? No, he's going to stay out, but V-Man's into the pits. Okay, this is interesting. Where is Nino? Nino is coming up now towards the start-finish line. Is he going to get the undercut? Is he going to jump up into the race lead here? There they are. They're in the pit lane. Oh, it's going to be so close. He's just going to get ahead of Plix. Nino there jumping up into 2nd place. Total P's is, oh, I say 2nd place in a net 2nd place after everyone's made their pit stops. But yeah, Nino gets the jump on Plix, and he's right behind Maxro now. As Total P's there. Oh, P's goes wide, very wide, absolutely bottled it, and this is V-Man's opportunity to try and get through. Is he going to be able to do so? Oh, bit of a back end snap there from the... Oh, contact! Contact, and that's Total P's out of the race. Oh my god. I believe that's got to be wing damage. That's wing damage for V-Man. Oh no. I don't know who could... I mean, let me know what you guys think in the chat. Let me know. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the chat. Me, I don't know who really gets the blame for that, as a bit of contact there between Nino and Maxro, and Plix now trying to get through, as well as Maxro there letting both Nino and Plix through. So maybe Maxro maybe didn't see Nino there on the outside. Maybe a bit of sportsmanship to kind of let the Welshman through. I'm not sure, but Maxo letting Plix through as well. So Maxo goes from 1st down to 3rd. Colin has found himself in 4th place now. However, he does have Ryan Malta directly behind him. And oh, as there goes Tomato around. Unbelievable. As we got Tin Can there on the back of V-Man. V-Man with loud wing damage. In fact, I believe he's actually come in and got that repaired. No, he hasn't. He stayed out with it. V-Man really going to fight this? I don't think so. Don't think he's going to fight this at all. But right now, this is heartbreaking. We're seeing a lot of front wings going off. A lot of retirements. Of course, XL Bree, the slightest contact with the wall, and I really don't like the contact model when it comes to the slightest touch on the wall, because that really shouldn't rip his reel off, but unfortunately the game decided that it did. And now we have this very interesting Maxo there gets past his teammate as Plix get a bit tail happy. It's not going to help him. Not going to help him at all. But Maxro now has been let go, and that is why. Look at the ERS Maxro has to his disposal. Over 70%, as Nino is under 10%. This is going to be a Herculean task now for Nino to try and maintain this. We see V-Man into the pits, and such a heartbreaking story for V-Man. Yes, wing damage, but I don't know. That definitely will be a talking point after this race. I can assure you of that. Total P's V-Man. But right now, just trying to do some mental calculations in my head. So right now, England are still in 4th place. They're still at the back. They need more than this to get through to the best of the rest for next week, as Max Rode gets past Nino, and back into the race lead goes the Renault. With V-Man being a bit further down the order, I believe Wales right now will be outscoring Malta. I think before V-Man made his pit stop, I think Malta was outscoring Wales, but I think now that V-Man's had to make that pit stop due to damage, I think that has kind of brought Wales into a position where they are looking pretty decent. But also, let's talk about these two, Maxro and Plix for the French team. There's only 2 of them here, and to my calculations, they're borderline. Actually, they could be going through, and that would be such a monumental achievement for the two French lads, as Plex is trying to close up, and he's going to send it down the inside of Little Romanino. Little Romanino breaks earlier, tries to go for a switchback, but can't get it done. As Maxro now, I believe Maxro was using all of his ERS to try and break DRS to allow Plex to get the move on Little Romanino. So we're seeing the French lads working together as a cohesive unit here. There may be only 2 of them, but the teamwork is good from the 2 French lads. As, oh no, Tomato's into the pit lane, and he's going to chuck on the set the soft compound tyres. There is 7 laps to go. Right behind him, but he does have a lot more ERS at his disposal. Tinkan needs a big result here to give England even a slight hope. He needs a big result, and right now it is on the teetering edge between France, Malta and Wales. And right now we see this battle for P8 between V-Man and Rage Hunter. And we know Tomato on the softs, he is going to close up to these guys, going to close up the Rage Hunter. We'll see if V-Man can, once he gets past Rage Hunter, see if he can pull away. Look at this, we got 2 very interesting battles going on here. We got France versus Wales, and I unfortunately have that internet connection quality thing pop up. It should still be fine. Let me know in the stream if it is still fine. We've only got 6 laps to go. We really have to press on now. So we got the top 3 still going at it. Just quickly going to refresh the stream. Yeah, that's good. That's good. We're still good. The other 2 groups are also starting soon. That is true, but here goes Ryan Mulder now. He's going to look to the outside of Colin. He's going to be able to pull it off. Oh, and there goes Ryan. A big snap back in those. And oh my god, I thought for a second the Tin Can was going to be taken out by it. But Tin Can able to avoid absolute carnage here as Ryan, he's dropped well down the order now. And V-Man battling with Rage Hunter. Rage Hunter trying everything he can to make sure he can bring home as enough points as possible for England. But what he doesn't realise is, as it stands right now, England are going down. Back up towards the front, you see Plix over the back of Maxro. The French lads working together. They need to work together. Because what they have little Romanino, the Welshman, trying everything to get through, trying everything to get himself back up into this race lead. And Colin has managed to gap Tin Can just a little bit behind, so we'll see if Tin Can can close back up to the Welshman. But right now, Colin sitting in fourth as Ryan Mulder into the pits, and that is going to drop him down behind Tomato. So Tomato now up into P9. So we'll have to wait and see who's going to come out on top here. Right now it's still France 1-2. With the spin from Ryan, and with having to make that pit stop, as well as what happened with V-Man as well, looks like Mulder may just miss out here. We've got support for Colin in the chat as well, on board with the Welshman in the Alpha Charity, doing a fantastic job. He does have an Englishman of XL Tin Can though, trying to close him down. At the moment, the only person with a penalty to the name is the English lad of Calvin, down in 11th place. We've lost 3 people here tonight, 1 from England, 1 from Malta and 1 from Wales. We've lost Total Peas, we've lost Hooky, and we've lost XL Brie. As we begin lap 16 of 18, we got 3 more laps to go. Who is going to go through to next week's Best of the Rest race? Who is going to enter the knockout race here? I don't know. I'm going to have to get my calculator ready, because I will do some quick math after this race. That is for sure. I will try and do some maths. I will try and let you know who is going down to the knockout race next week and who is going on to the next race in the Best of the Rest route. So the closest battle that we actually have on track is this battle for the race lead. So we'll stay on. Well, actually, hang on. Tomatoes all over the back of Rage Hunter. Tomato on fresh softs compared to Rage Hunter's very worn hard tyres. There should be a forward-on conclusion now with DRS. There's absolutely nothing Rage Hunter can do here. He is an absolute sitting duck. Or is he? Looks like Rage Hunter does have the straight line speed to challenge, but is he going to try and fight it down the inside? No, he's going to stick behind. So now it is 3.8 seconds between V-Man and Tomato. Seems like a bit of a decent gap there for V-Man to hold on to 7th place, but you never know. A 3-second time penalty could change everything as Rage Hunter picks one up there himself. As here comes Tinkan, he's got alongside Colin. Oh, he's gone to the curb though. And Tinkan picks up a 3-second time penalty. We got on board with that very late indeed. So they are side by side coming into turn 1. Oh, bit of contact and Tinkan is around. Oh no. Tinkan going for a spin. He's going to have Kirk now right on his tail. And with that 3-second time penalty, Kirk may be looking decent to jump up into 5th here. As back up towards the front, it is the French lads once again in 1st and 2nd, but will little Romanino be able to say anything about that? It's all about the run out of this corner. Doesn't look like the run is going to be good enough, so it is going to be Maxro to the line to pick up the race win ahead of Plix in 2nd, little Romanino in 3rd, Colin with I'm going to say a great drive to get to P4. However, there may be some talk about that collision with Tinkan. So Colin does get P4. Tinkan will come home in P5, but will lose at the Kirk. So it will be P60 for the Englishman, as V-Man there will cross the line in P7. Tomato, after the instance that hurt him at the start, comes through for 8th place. Rage Hunter will come home behind Ryan Mulder, I want to think. Okay, so now this is where Mike has to get all kind of mathematical, get the calculator out, do the equations, because we have to find out who is going through and who is going to the knockout race. But yep, it is another French 1-2 maximum points here for the French team once again. And we will do a quick calculation. As we run you through the order one more time, it is Maxro there taking the win ahead of Plix in 2nd place. The two French lads 1st and 2nd, again the best of the result here today. Then we got little Romanino for Team Wales, along with Colin R. Mason there getting 3rd and 4th. Then we got Kirk for Team Mulder in 5th. Tinkan very disappointed to get 6th. He was looking very good there, battling with Colin for 4th, but that late contact took him out of it and he comes home in 6th. V-Man in 7th. Then we got Tomato in 8th. Then Ryan Mulder in 9th. Of Rage Hunter rounds out the top 10 with Calvin a lap down. And our non-finishers were Total Peas, Hooky and Excel Bree. And now we do some maths. The math is about to begin. Of course, we also have the other races going on as well, so we'll quickly do some mathematics here. I do like a bit of math. Who doesn't like a bit of math? We all like a bit of math. So the maximum points there for both races for France and they walk away with 112 points to their name. 112 points there for the French lads. And of course now look at Wales. They get 24 plus 22. Believe where did Tomato come? Tomato came in 8th place, so that's 14. So that's 60 points for this race for the Welsh lads. How was it in the previous race? So previous race it was 4th and 5th, so 22 plus 20, and 9th and 13th, so 9th was plus 12, 13th plus 8, so Wales end on 122 points to their name. And now we're going to look at Malta, who got was it 24 for 3rd, 6th, 10, 11, 6, 10, 11. Let's have a look. Right, so it was 24, P6, P10, P11, so they got 63 from the first race. And then of course here they got P5 and P7, so P5 is 20 plus P7, that's 16 points to their name, so they're on 99 right now. How close is it? Ryan getting 9th place as well, so 9th for Ryan, picks up 12 points. And guys, I'm just gonna say it right now, 1 point is all that was in it. It is gonna be France going through because Malta misses out by 1 singular point. Malta end this championship round on 111 points. France ended on 112. So it's going to be Wales and France advancing to the next best of the rest round, and it will be England and Malta who will join the knockout races. So make sure you guys go ahead now and tune over to the championship route races that will be going on right now. But until next week, I have been Ivor Bryn Mike, bringing you the action, and we'll catch you again next week.